Anthony Human from Namibia is P7. Best lap is a 1:28.799. Adrian Goes in Roma is 9th. Brendan Gryasel in Torrentino is 3rd. Melvin Goes from Namibia is 10th. Adrian Goes in Roma is P9. The qualification session is at Autodromo Piero Tarifai in Rome, Italy. The wind speed is 14 km/h from the north-northeast. Anthony Human from Namibia is P1. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa in Simini is P5. Jake O'Neill from South Africa is P3. Anthony Human is P1. Anthony Human is up 13.48 in Trinsa. Anthony Human is up 13.70 in SE. James Leach is provisional pole with a 126.172. Anthony Human improved is second with a 128.175. 2.003 off pole. Jay Conell is provisional pole with a 126.010. Janine Glad is P6. Janine Glad improved is fifth with a 127.498. 1.488 off pole. Anthony Human is sixth up 0.35. Brendan Griesel is P4 up 0.44. Brendan Griesel improved his P3 with a 126.276. 0.266 off pole. Adrian Goes from Namibia in Trinsa is 10th up 0.96. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Leon van Linden from South Africa in Semaforo is 8th up 0.56. Leon van Linden improved his P6 with a 128.024. 2.014 off pole. Janine Glad from South Africa is P5 up 0.23. James Leach from South Africa in Roma is P2. James Leach improved his second with a 126.102. 0.092 off pole. Mike McGear from Ireland in Curvone is P4. Melvin Goes from Namibia in Semaforo is 8th up 0.25. Mike McGear in Trinsa is P4 up 0.22. Melvin Goes in Roma is P8. Melvin Goes improved his sixth with a 127.398. 1.388 off pole. Tommy Glad from South Africa in SE is 9th up 0.69. Tommy Glad improved his P9 with a 129.775. 3.765 off pole. Adrian Goes is 10th up 0.42. Melvin Goes is 6th up 0.50. Melvin Goes improved his 5th with a 127.199. 1.189 off pole. Melvin Goes is up 0.08 in Semini. Adrian Goes in Semini is 9th. Best lap is a 129.520. 3.510 off pole. Mike McGear is P4 up 0.11. Best lap is a 126.411. 0.401 off pole. Melvin Goes in Torrentino is P5 up 0.11. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Melvin Goes improved his 5th with a 126.639. 0.629 off pole. Anthony Human in Roma is 8th. Anthony Human improved his 7th with a 127.504. 1.494 off pole. Jake O'Neill is provisional pole with a 125.815. Tommy Glad is P10. Tommy Glad improved his 9th with a 128.734. 2.919 off pole. Janine Glad is 6th up 0.25. Janine Glad improved his P6 with a 126.858. 1.043 off pole. Adrian Goes is P10. Leon van Linden is 8th. Best lap is a 128.024. 2.209 off pole. The race session is at Autodromo Piero Tarifai in Rome, Italy. The wind speed is 14 km/h from the north-northeast. J. Conell is first. James Leach from South Africa is second. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa is third. Mike McGeer from Ireland is fourth. Melvin Goes from Namibia is P5. Janine Glad from South Africa is P6. Anthony Human from Namibia is P7. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Adrian Goes from Namibia in Kervone is P9. Anthony Human entering the pits is P10. Brendan Gryasel is P3. Mike McGeer is P4. Anthony Human exiting pits. Brendan Gryasel in Torrentino is P3. Adrian Goes in SE is P9. Mike McGeer is P4. Janine Glad in Kervone on lap 2 is 6th, 0.5 behind Melvin Goes. James Leach in Trinsa is second, 0.5 behind J. Conell. Mike McGeer in SE is fourth, 0.5 behind Brendan Gryasel. James Leach is P2, 0.5 behind J. Conell. Mike McGeer from Ireland is fourth, 1.0 behind Brendan Gryasel. James Leach in Semaforo is P2. Best lap is a 1:25.675. James Leach is now third. Mike McGeer is P2, 0.5 behind Brendan Gryasel. Jake O'Neill from South Africa is P5. Mike McGear is P2, 0.4 behind Brendan Gryasel. "10 minutes remaining in the session. James Leach is P5, 0.3 behind Jake O'Neill. Mike McGear in Semaforo is second, 0.4 behind Brendan Gryasel. James Leach in Roma is 5th, 0.7 behind Jake O'Neill. Mike McGear in Kervone is 2nd, 0.2 behind Brendan Gryasel. James Leach from South Africa in Semini is P5, 0.5 behind Jake O'Neill. Mike McGear in Trinsa is 2nd, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. James Leach in SE is 5th, 0.8 behind Jake O'Neill. Mike McGear in Kervone is P2, 0.6 behind Brendan Gryasel. Anthony Human entering the pits is P10. Melvin Goes is 3rd, 0.9 behind Mike McGear. Anthony Human exiting pits. Mike McGear is P2, 0.7 ahead of Melvin Goes. Melvin Goes was 0.5 faster last lap. Melvin Goes is 3rd, 0.6 behind Mike McGear. Mike McGear is P2, 0.5 ahead of Melvin Goes. Melvin Goes in Torrentino is P3, 0.5 behind Mike McGear. Five minutes remaining in the session. Mike McGear in Roma is second, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Melvin Goes is P3, 0.2 behind Mike McGear. Mike McGear in Cimini is second, 0.4 behind Brendan Gryasel. Mike McGear lost second to Melvin Goes. Jay Connell is fourth, 0.2 behind Mike McGear. Jay Connell passed Mike McGear for P3. James Leach in Torrentino is P5, 0.4 behind Mike McGear. Jay Connell is P3, 0.3 behind Melvin Goes. James Leach is fifth, 0.6 behind Mike McGear. Jay Connell is P3, 0.5 behind Melvin Goes. James Leach in Semaforo on lap 9 is 5th, 0.3 behind Mike McGear. Jay Connell in SE on lap 9 is P3, 0.5 behind Melvin Goes. James Leach in Roma is 5th. Melvin Goes in Curvone is 2nd, 0.5 behind Brendan Gryasel. Jay Connell in Cimini is P3, 0.5 behind Melvin Goes. Melvin Goes in Trinsa is 2nd, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Jay Connell from South Africa is P3, 0.4 behind Melvin Goes. Melvin goes in SE is P2, 0.2 ahead of Jake O'Neill. James Leach is P5, 0.9 ahead of Janine Glad. James Leach lost 5th to Janine Glad. Melvin goes in Curvone is P2. Best lap is a 125.926. 0.251 off the fastest lap. Brendan Gryasel in Simini is second battling Melvin goes. Brendan Gryasel lost P2 to Jake O'Neill. Jake O'Neill in Semaforo is P2, 0.3 ahead of Brendan Gryasel. Anthony Human entering the pits is P10. The leader has just finished the race. Jake O'Neill finished first. Brendan Gryasel finished second. Melvin Goes finished third. Mike McGear finished fourth. Janine Glad finished P5. James Leach finished P6. Leon Van Linden finished P7. Tommy Glad from South Africa finished P8. Adrian Goes is P9. Adrian Goes finished 9th. The race session is at Autodromo Piero Tarifai in Rome, Italy. The wind speed is 14 km/h from the north-northeast. Janine Glad is first. Mike McGear from Ireland is P2. Melvin Goes from Namibia is third. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa is P4. Jake O'Neill from South Africa is fifth. James Leach from South Africa is sixth. Leon van Linden from South Africa is seventh. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Tommy Glad from South Africa in Kervon is 8th. James Leach entering the pits is 10th. Adrian Goes from Namibia in Simini is 8th. Brendan Gryasel is third. Mike McGear in Semaforo is P5. Brendan Gryasel in Essie is third. Jake O'Neill in Roma is second. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa in Kervon is P3, 0.4 behind Jake O'Neill. Mike McGear entering the pits is 8th. Leon van Linden in Simini is P6, 0.3 behind Tommy Glad. Leon van Linden passed Tommy Glad for 5th. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa in Trinsa is P3, 0.5 behind Jake O'Neill. Jake O'Neill in Torrentino is second. Brendan Gryasel on lap 2 is third, 0.8 behind Jake O'Neill. Jake O'Neill in Kervon is second, 0.3 behind Melvin Goes. Melvin Goes is P2 battling Jake O'Neill. Tommy Glad in Trinsa is 6th, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes is second, 0.3 behind Jake O'Neill. Tommy Glad in SE is 6th, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes is 2nd, 0.4 behind Jay Conell. Tommy Glad in Kervone is 6th, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Leon van Linden is P5. Adrian Goes is 6th, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes is 3rd, 0.4 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes in Roma is P6, 1.2 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes in Simini on lap 5 is P3, 0.5 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes is P6, 1.0 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes in SE is 3rd, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes in Roma is 6th, 1.2 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes in Simini is 3rd, 0.2 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes in Trinsa is 6th, 1.4 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes is 3rd. Adrian Goes in Roma on lap 6 is P6, 1.6 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes is P3, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Brendan Gryasel is P2, 0.3 ahead of Melvin Goes. Five minutes remaining in the session. Melvin Goes in Roma is P3, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Brendan Gryasel from South Africa is P2, 0.3 ahead of Melvin Goes. Melvin Goes is P3, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes in Trinsa is P6. Best lap is a 1:28.701. 2.648 off the fastest lap. Melvin Goes in Roma is P3. Adrian Goes in SE is P6, 0.4 behind Leon van Linden. Melvin Goes in Simini is third, 0.3 behind Brendan Gryasel. Adrian Goes in Kervone is P6, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. Adrian Goes past Leon van Linden for fifth. Leon van Linden is sixth, 0.3 behind Adrian Goes. Melvin Goes is third, 0.2 behind Brendan Gryasel. Melvin Goes past Brendan Gryasel for P2. Brendan Gryasel is P3, 0.2 behind Melvin Goes. Janine Glad from South Africa in Simini is fourth. Brendan Gryasel in Semaforo is P3, 0.5 behind Melvin Goes. Leon van Linden is 6th, 0.5 behind Adrian Goes. Brandon Gryasel on lap 11 is 3rd, 0.9 behind Melvin Goes. Leon van Linden in Curvone is P6, 0.7 behind Adrian Goes. The leader has just finished the race. Jake O'Neill finished 1st. Melvin Goes finished P2. Brandon Gryasel finished 3rd. Janine Glad finished P4. Leon van Linden finished P5. Adrian Goes finished P6.